We have to understand that the businesses we attract and retain and local businesses we help grow today will be next year's cuts that we don't have to make, because we will have the revenue that comes in from those businesses, from those jobs, from that economic development. That means we have to make it easier to open a business. We have to go out and attract them. We have to include local jobs and local contracting so that the money recycles in our community and creates multiple effects. And we have to fight predatory lenders who are tearing our community apart and pulling money out of our community. Thank you.
As Mayor of Oakland, this is what I do. We've been working on a plan for the last 2 years. This is called a turn of currency. It's called turn of currency for Oakland residents and neighbors. It's a 3-part magnetic debit card with 3 functions. The RFI, that means response for information. We right now in the state of the RFQ means response for proposal. If everyone gets involved in it by June, we can give it to the city council before November. We can help our city get up out of this deficit. This is how this debit card works. This debit card works for the city work furlough days. The days that the people that's off on the furlough days, you'll get paid in local currency. The reason why I'm so great about this local currency is because you only can spend it locally. Over $800 million leaves Oakland every year. But this plan is in effect now. This is not nothing in the future. So we get more involved into the local currency. Also what this debit card is, the great part of it, it gives business incentives. And what the incentive is, you coming from New York and you stand at the Marriott, we have incentives of $50 so you can explore these neighborhoods. And what the problem is, this card right here is not by greed. It's ran by the city of Oakland. The value of this card is by the city of Oakland. So to make a long story short, after saying the Oakland Community Action Network, we need to get involved and educate ourselves in city processes that most of y'all don't know that's going on behind the scenes. So this, once again, is a magnetic debit card. It's called a turn of currency for Oakland residents and neighbors. Y'all can go to oaklandcityidcard.org to get more information about this debit card, or y'all can talk to me afterwards so we can give you more information. Thank you.
Okay, let me do the short term. We've cut $170 million over the last 29 months. Every employee is taking about a 10% hit. We've eliminated about 400 positions, which equals 233 full-time positions. So we've probably shot as much as we can. And it's not going to get better in the next 3 years. A quarter of all of the homes in Alameda County were reevaluated to less. So that means cities and our base tax and property tax, our largest source is going to be left. And the banks are holding another 2,000 to 3,000 homes in foreclosures that will probably come in lower. So it's not going to get better. So we have to take some emergency measures. Some of them are long-term, some of them are emergency. We have to get public safety officers to pay at least their fair share of the pension. Their pension is unsustainable. A local police officer can retire at age 50 with 97% of their pay and full health benefits for the rest of their life. That's unsustainable. Now, not all pensions are equally involved, so what are we going to do about that short term? We're probably going to make some painful cuts. We've got to get money back from public safety officers. We may have to go to a couple of ballot fixes, and this includes a nationwide fix, so that if we have to lay off one officer, that we don't have to also lay off the 63 nationwide officers and cut the violence prevention programs. We also may have to, on an emergency basis, ask for some additional money so that we don't lay off any public safety officers, because I think most people would like to keep full staffing of police where crime is down 3 years in a row now. That's important. On the statewide level, you've got to go to the nation that help right for the League of Cities so that the state can't literally grab our money. They take in our gasoline vehicle fees that we can't fix roads. They took $41 million for our redevelopment funds that means that we're not going to build affordable housing or build some of the retail. Long term, we have to do retail retention, and we have to reorganize the city in a way that we do more with less and we do it with other agents. And that's time. I know it's short. Okay, let's go to the great part.
I think when we're talking about the budget, we have to really focus on what the real problem is. And the real problem, I'm sorry to say, is in the police and fire department. They get paid far too much. And I'll give you a few figures. In New York City, the cost of living is 59.4% higher than here. A police officer there starts at $46,228. If he has 60 college units, he can get $46,228. It's in Los Angeles, where the cost of living is 3.5% higher. A police officer starts at $45,226. If he has 60 units, he can get $47,043. In Oakland, a police officer starts at $71,841. If he has a higher degree, he can get $90,541. And that doesn't include his pension, which we pay for entirely. The Department of Justice says that a city the size of Oakland should have 1,050 officers. We have 770 officers. We cannot afford to have 1,050 officers because we pay too much. But you know what happens? We pay so much overtime. If we eliminated the overtime and hired them at the national average, we could have the extra police and $10 million left over. We have to address that problem.
And that was our second round of questions. Moving on, here is our third questions to our candidates for mayor. And by the way, you probably know my pattern now. I'm going to be in here. Oakland's the second most diverse city in the country. We're going to start with Rebecca and Catherine. Please let's go. We're going to start with you, John, because I said that first. It's like when you make the rules up and everyone gets mad. All right. Oakland is the second most diverse city in the country. Yet unemployment among blacks is 18%, Latinos 16%, and whites 8%. What does your job creation plan specifically look like? And how will you ensure that those jobs support communities of color? Beginning with you, Don.
I'm Dr. Don first. I don't think any of us would want to pretend that there's no racial discrimination in Oakland, that there's no racial problems in Oakland. We are an extremely diverse community. We're not always the best at it. We could definitely do better. I believe that a lot of the inequities start a lot younger. They start not so much at the day you're applying for the job, but on the day you drop out of high school. They start not when you're trying to figure out how to get into college, but when you are figuring out how to get your first job. And frankly, some of us, like I said, myself, I have advantages here. I have advantages because of how I was raised. I was advantages because I was helped by my family to go through Lincoln College. And we have to think, when you clean up a problem, like I have 2 kids, my kitchen is a mess at times. There we go. You start cleaning where it's worst. And that's what I think we need to do. And that's why I'm so strong about adult education. Adult education relates to employment. We have to reach out to the corners where the help is most needed and clean from the dirtiest part inwards. And I think that Oakland really needs attention to the communities that are having the highest rate of problems. And it'll be really easy to find them because people are unemployed.
Creating and retaining more jobs in Oakland is crucial. We have people struggling and suffering and losing their homes and unable to take care of their kids because of lack of jobs. and that has to be taken very seriously. That means working to attract job-generating projects, not sitting back and waiting for them to show up, but actually going out and wooing them and inviting them here and encouraging them here. For example, the Metropolitan Transportation